So we're here with Beauty School and this is a Hive magazine interview. How are we doing today?
Good, thank you. Very tired, early start, 4:30 a.m. This guy, he drove, so you did.
Yeah, a little tired too.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah.
Good show though.
Yeah, it was a good show. We enjoyed the show.
It was a great show. And like I've seen you guys multiple times before. I saw you supporting Trash Boat, I think it was in Sheffield, and then yours truly in Manchester as well. Yeah, that was like such an amazing show. And I've seen that you've been like playing all over the shop recently. Like, you've done a lot in a very short amount of time, which is great. But there must be some weird stuff that's happened on the road, like playing in different venues. What's like the weirdest / funniest story that you've had happen to you guys?
That's I don't know if we can even.
Oh God.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go for it because the chances of them watching it are pretty fucking slim. But we just went on tour with Less Than Jake and Bowling for Soup.
Oh yeah.
In Europe. And great guys, by the way. Amazing to be around those guys. You know, they have obviously they're like veterans of the game. But our guitarist, Grant, he can be cheeky when he's had a few beers. And we were in, where were we? We were in Munich. We were in Munich. And those guys were on buses and we were obviously like in the vans and just staying where we were. So we were staying at the venue because in Europe they have a lot of like, you know, spots where bands can stay. And the buses were leaving, so because they were travelling straight to Italy the next day. And Grant went down to the dressing rooms and literally he emptied all the beers out of Less Than Jake's fridge. And brought them across to us. Because I think in his drunken state he thought they were done and they were gone. But then shortly after, their tour manager started coming back to the dressing rooms and it was apparently like, oh, we're just going to come back and get the beers because we've got an off day tomorrow. And we were all like sat on this balcony upstairs like sipping the beers. So yeah, that was sketchy. That was pretty funny. But you know, it was just hilarious at the time because
to be fair, when you're on tour, you do have to do what you have to do. If you get the chance, there's not many chances where you can drink after a show, so I don't blame. But still, yeah, let's hope they don't see this. But still.
Less Than Jake, disclaimer, if you do see it, we still love you and we're sorry for stealing your beers.
That is absolutely. I think they will forgive you. I'm sure they will do. So speaking of Less Than Jake, and like we've seen, like I've seen you on so many different lineups, but like you've been like killing it in the pop punk scene, and like genuinely, a lot of people are inspired by you. But who would you say inspires you guys, like with your songwriting especially? I'm sensing a lot of different like inspirations, but I'm not gonna guess. I'll let you tell me.
I'll let you go first on this one. Yeah, Charlie's got a lot of good influences.
I don't write any of the songs though.
Yeah,
that's
but with the
thing.
drumming and stuff, you've got some good.
It still makes a difference.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me and Jordan, like Military Gun that are playing today, that they're probably an influence for more of like a heavier kind of thing. But I think like, especially recently, I think like Arm's Length, this band from America, they're very good. The drums are cool on that, so nice like interesting rhythms, but just loads of stuff. Yeah.
I think like for me, we've kind of like we went to university together, and so we've been hanging out for like 10 years. So there's not like one set of bands that we kind of are fully influenced by. It's more like everything that we've kind of all the bands that we've seen. So when we first started hanging out, it was like the Wonder Years, Transit, and all of those bands, and then now it's more like bands like Military Gun and things like that. I think one of the big influences for me lyrically, I think, is the Hotelier. And you know the Hotelier? Yeah, I really, really like the first record that they put out. Well, it was technically their second record, but the first record under the name The Hotelier. That was just like, for me, that's when I heard it, I was like, that's how I want to write songs, that's how I want to write lyrics. So yeah.
And they are powerful and emotional songs. I mean, your stage presence, like all of you, put so much into your performance, and it really does come across. You can definitely see it. So, is this your first time at 2000 Trees?
It's my first time here as either an artist or a punter. Like, I've never been to the festival, but I've always wanted to come. But literally, we found out we were playing this year, and I was like, amazing, I'm finally going to get to go to Trees. But then I realised that it's the day before I go to Japan tomorrow. So it was like, oh, so actually I'm only going to be here for a few hours. But it's great, we love it. You've been before, right?
Yeah, I played it a few years ago. I think it was that stage as well with Rob Lynch. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, it's good. It's a good festival. It's nice.
I'm keen to, if we can get chance before we leave, to get across and have a look at the famous actual tree stage. You know, the one that's in the forest stage. Yeah. I want to check that out before we go.
Yeah, it's such a good stage. And like, you've been to a lot of festivals, right? So, if the next festival that you play at, or future festivals, is there like any changes that you want to see, or like development? Like, we've come so far, and it's a post-COVID world now. What do we think?
Yeah, hang some parasols up here.
Yeah. We need some shade for Charlie.
Yeah, genuinely.
I think in terms of festivals, like, I wouldn't say that, you know, that there are things that need improving at festivals, but I've worked at Slam Dunk Festival for many years. I've played Download Festival, Trees Festival, Slam Dunk Festival, you know, Leeds and Reading. I've seen so many festivals, and the one thing that I always take away from them is like how just unbelievably hard the people that are putting these festivals on work, and just how even when things do go wrong and things are difficult, like, it's not those guys, like they're really, like, you know, everybody at a festival is just here for the love of music. And so I don't think anything really does need to change. I just think that festivals just need to keep going because we're lucky to have them, and that's
I think like as well, you come to festivals and like there's loads of people working on the stages doing everything, and they're here because it's their job as well. But I think like as bands, it's important that like we come here and, you know, you say thank you and you're nice, and you know, because it goes a long way. Like, people look after you, they help us, they change your vouchers so you can eat some lunch instead of dinner. There's like, I think there's that thing like of we're in awe that we can actually come and do this. So like being able to just do it and say thanks to someone for helping carry the drums off stage or anything, it's like,
it's,
you know,
so nice.
Yeah, I think it's important, and like that's probably something that like bands can continue to do as well to keep things ticking on in the right way, I think. Yeah.
There is a lot like with the festivals that people don't know about the behind the scenes as well, because like if you see the performances, you're a punter, then you're only seeing what's at the front, but there is so much that goes into festivals, and keeping them alive is definitely, like, when everything shut down, it was tough. We all felt it, and that was like a dark time for all of us. But I'm gonna go even darker now. So you're gonna have to bear with me. This is a weird question, but in that completely hypothetical situation that there is a zombie outbreak, right? Okay, follow me here. There's a zombie outbreak, and you've got your phone with, like, I don't know, let's say 20% battery left. You've only got a few hours to listen to your favorite zombie, like, apocalypse soundtrack. What songs are you going to be listening to, and why?
That is a big question. So I've got 20% left. I'm pretty much guaranteed not to make it out, right? I'm guessing. So these could be the last songs that I ever listen to. That needs to be taken into account. I think I would definitely be listening to the album Around the Fur by Deftones in full. that would be a must, because that's kind of what brought me into this like type of music and stuff like that. And then I think, I just want to feel peaceful, so it's going to be Pine Grove after that. I'm just going to listen to some Pine Grove.
Pine Grove is the
He knew what the answer was going to be, because every time anybody's in my car, it's like, that's the only thing we're listening to.
Yeah, there you go.
Go on, what are you? He's going to have some eclectic stuff, this guy.
I think for a full album, maybe like the Stone Roses self-titled record.
That would be
Pretty good. That'd be nice. And then probably Meat Is Murder by the Smiths.
Yeah.
Good one. And then now what else?
Do you know what would be good? That if we were gonna go out, I know I've taken it even darker than you went, but what we used to do when we were in uni is we used to go out drinking, and then we'd come back to the flat because we lived together. No, the house that we lived in. And we used to put on, what's the name of the album again? The M83 record?
Hurry Up We're Dreaming.
Hurry Up We're Dreaming by M83. And we used to just have the lights off, couple candles lit. We would be super wasted. We just lay on the living room floor and listen to that album. So, if I thought we were going to get munched by zombies, M83.
I got another one for
Go
you.
on, what you got? He's got one more.
Bon Iver self-titled.
Oh, Bon Iver self-titled.
That's probably go out to that.
Yeah.
That'd be the
Bon
last
Iver
one. Great record.
Yeah. I think that's right. Yeah, Bon Iver. Honestly, I would take any of Bon Iver's albums for a go out.
I mean, it could go on forever.
We could go on forever with this one.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's such a deep and important question.
Sigur Rós as well. Sigur Rós.
Right, so I feel like the listeners are going to be like, okay, taking notes here. Look, of course, it's completely hypothetical. There's probably not going to be a zombie outbreak next week, but honestly. So, thank you so much for sitting down and taking the time to chat with me. This has been an absolutely incredible interview. If you have anything you want to part with and let people know.
Well, actually, this is pretty much the end of summer for us now. I go away on holiday, and but we've got a headline show in Leeds for anybody that might be listening this close to Leeds. 11th of August. It's Friday night. It's actually the weekend before our birthdays, because our birthdays are on the same day, weirdly. So we'll be partying, and then we're just cracking on writing the new album. We're probably going to play a couple of the new tunes at that gig, and then that's it. We have a tour in November with The Bottom Line. Other than that, it's just working on the second record now.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you again for taking the time to talk to me. This has been Beauty School, and this has been a Hive magazine interview. Let's go.